Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to tackle developing SQL databases, serializable and snapshot. Serializable and snapshot module provides you with the instructions and devices to develop your hands-on skills in the following topics. Working with serializable isolation level, working with snapshot isolation level. Two exams objectives are covered in this lab. Demonstrate how the isolation level serializable impact concurrency when a select statement and an insert statement are executed by two simultaneous sessions on a table without index. When a select statement and an insert statement are executed by two simultaneous sessions on an indexed column, demonstrate how the isolation level snapshot recognizes only the modifications that were made before the beginning of the transactions. So before we start, I already opened DP the laboratory before before I started my video. So you can choose either of them, just one will be suffice. That's it. So next, exercise 1. Working with serializable isolation level. The system of locking that works between transact SQL transactions in a database is controlled or determined by isolation levels. There are various isolation levels in SQL Server. Apart from serializable and snapshots, the other levels are as follows. Read uncommitted. This is the lowest isolation level. In this level, you can modify the data when the transaction is running. Repeatable read. This is the similar to read committed level. However, if you execute two select statements in a single transaction, the result will be the same of both these statements. Read committed. This is the default isolation level in SQL Server. The select statements return only committed data from the database. In this exercise, you will work with serializable isolation level. This level is an extension of repeatable read. The database engine will wait till all the transactions are completed and then only update or insert transaction will execute on the data. Task 1. Execute select and insert statement in two simultaneous sessions on table without index. In this task, you will perform the following actions. Create a new table named dim_product_temp without primary key, thereby the table will not have an index. Fill the table with records. Display all the records from dim_product_temp table. Create session 1 transaction query with multiple select statements. Create session 2 transaction query with an insert statement. Step uh, First of all, to ensure you have powered on the required devices and connect the PLAB SQL01 or SQL02 if SQL01 has have a problems. You can choose either of them. If not, if both of them have any problems, reset your PC, your laptop, or what kind of devices are you gonna use. So yeah. So from PLAB SQL01 desktop, click start and click Microsoft SQL Server Management Studios. Hold on. Okay. To connect the server dialog box appears from the server type drop-down list, click database engine. In the server name text box type PLAB SQL01, which is automatic there. Click connect. Okay. So the SQL Server Management Studio will open. In the Object Explorer, click the Expand the Databases folder. Expand. Click. Select the database from the list of databases. Click AdventureWorks DW 2016 CTP3. To create a new query from the query ribbon, click New Query. Okay. The new query pane opens. To create a new table, type the following query in the new query pane. Okay. Use AdventureWorks Go. I'm not gonna type the create some working table. I'm not gonna do that. If object ID dim product temp is not null, begin job table dim product temp and oh okay and create table dim product temp product key in this price grade. Go. Okay. This query checks if the table named in product temp exists in the database or not. If it exists, the table is deleted and a new table with the same name is created. The new table will have two columns, namely product key and disparate. If there is no index created on the dim product temp table. To run the query, click execute or press F5. Okay, command completely successful. So to create a new query from the query window, click new query. Type the following query in the new query pane. So insert into dim product temp select product key this price from video in product where this price is not known. Go insert into dim product temp product key this price the values 160. Okay, this query imports records into the dim product temp table from dim product table where on the where clause. The new record is also inserted into dim product temp table. To run the query, click execute or press F5. Okay, 395 rows affected, 1 row affected. Okay, so to create a new query for the query window, click new query, type the following query in a new query pane. So select all from dim product temp order by product key and go. Okay, this query displays all the records from the dim product temp key in the descending order of the product key column. To run the query, click execute or press F5. Okay, the query runs successfully and the result set is displayed. To create a new query for the query ribbon, click new query. Type the following query in a new query pane. So, set transaction serializable begin from select all from dim product temp where product key between 1 and 400. Wait for delay to 0 to 0 15. Select all from dim product temp where product key between 1 and 400 rollback. Okay, recall the dim product temp table does not have an index. Consider this query as session 1. In this query, the transaction isolation level is set to serializable. There are two select statements that are executed in the transaction with a delay of 15 seconds between each execution. To run the query, click execution or press F5. Okay, the query runs successfully and the result is displayed. We can wait for 15 seconds. Okay, let's wait for it. Alright, so notice that the results pane shows an empty results, and then now it shows after the delay of 15 seconds, the entire transaction is executed. The results pane shows the execution of both the select statements. To create a new query ribbon, click New Query. Type the following query in the New Query pane. So, set transaction isolation level serializable. Insert into dim product temp. Product key list price. Values for 1110. Okay. Consider this query as session 2. The transaction isolation level is set to serializable. The query inserts the record into the dim product temp table. To run the query, click execute or press F5. Okay, the one was affected. Query runs successfully and the results displayed. So, note, the dim product temp table will be locked during this entire transaction as there is no index on the table. The insert statement will get executed only after the query in session 1 is executed completely. Both the select statements in session 1 displays the same result sets. So, okay. Task tools. Execute, select, and insert statement in two simultaneous sessions on table with index. In this task, you will perform the following actions. Create a new table named dim product temp with primary key, thereby the table will have an index. Fill the table with records. Display all the records from the dim product temp table. Create session 1 transaction query with multiple select statements. Create session 2 transaction query with an insert statement. Okay. To create a new query from the query ribbon, click New Query. Okay. Type the following query in the New Query pane. So, use AdventureWorks DW. Go. I'm just gonna type it again. The comment if object ID dim product temp is not null. Begin drop table dim product temp and create table product temp product key integer nub null primary key list price of float go. Okay, this query checks if the table name dim product temp exists in the database or not. If it exists, the table is deleted and a new table with the same name is created. The new table will have two columns, namely product key and list price. The product key column is set as the primary key. Therefore, an index got automatically created on the dim product temp table. To run the query, click execute or press F5. Almost good. New query. Okay. Commands the query runs successfully and the result is displayed. Okay. Create a new query for the query ribbon. Click new query. Type the following query in the new query pane. So, insert into dim product okay, temp. Select product key. List price from DBO dim product. Where list price is not known, then go. Okay. Oops. Okay. Okay. This query inserts records into dim product temp table from dim product table based on where clauses. To run the query, click execute or press F5. Okay, 395 rows affected. Query runs successfully and the result is displayed. To create a new query for the query ribbon, click new query. Type the following query in a new query pane. So insert into who into in product and product key is price values 1116. Okay. This query inserts a record into the dim product temp table. To run the query, click execute or press F5. Okay, when you're affected, the query runs successfully and the result is displayed. Create a new query from the query ribbon, click new query. Type the following query in the new query pane. Select all from product 10 order by product 2 then go. Okay, This query displays all the records from the product table, temp table, in an ascending order of the product key column. To run the query, click execute or press F5. Okay, the query runs successfully and the result set is displayed. To create a new query for the query ribbon, click New Query. Type the following query in a new query pane. So, set transaction isolation level visible begin from the product and where 15. Okay. Okay. Recall the dim product temp table has an index. Consider the transaction as session 1. In this query, the transaction isolation level is set to serializable. There are two select statements that are executed in the query with a delay of 15 seconds between each execution. To run the query, click execute or press F5. Let's wait for 15 seconds. The query runs successfully. We'll wait after the delay of 15 seconds, the entire transaction is executed. So we will wait for it. Okay, the query runs successfully and result set is displayed. The results pane shows the execution of both the select statement. To create a new query, to create a new query for the query ribbon, click New Query. Type the following query in the new query pane. So insert into product 10 product key. This price values. Oops. Okay. Consider the transaction as session 2. This query insert the record of the dim product temp table. To run the query, click execute or press F5. Okay. Note, the dim product temp table will not be completely locked as there is an index on the product key column. The record where the product key values are between 1 and 400 will be locked. You cannot modify those records, but also cannot insert new records in the table having product key values in a range from 1 to 400. However, the new record with product key value 1000 will be inserted in the table without any delay. Okay, and let's go for the next one. Okay, exercise 2, working with snapshot isolation level. At the snapshot isolation level, other queries can interact with the snapshot-based transactions. However, if the other queries are modifying the data, the old version of the data is stored in the tempdb database. Thus, the data gets modified in the database when snapshot transactions are running, but the changes of the data are stored in the SQL Server resources. This exercise will work with the snapshot isolation level. Task 1. Implemented snapshot isolation level in SQL transactions. In this task, you will perform the following actions. Enable the database to work with snapshot isolation level. Check whether dim product temp table exists. If it exists, delete it and query it again. Treat the records in dim product table temp table from dim product table where based on where clause. Create session 1 transaction to update the records in dim product temp table. The transaction is not committed. Create session 2 transaction to display the records of dim product temp table. The transaction is not committed. Commit session 1 transaction, commit session 2 transaction. To create a new query for the query ribbon, click new query. Okay, type the following query in a new query pane. So, use VentureWorks. Go. So it's not snapshot isolation. Also, Adventure Works VW 2016 CTP 3 set allow snapshot isolation on go. Okay, this query enables the AdventureWorks DW2016 CTP3 database to work with snapshot isolation level. To run the query, click execute or press F5. Okay, maybe I'll put the enable database to work with. Okay, let's go for it. Could not find the start procedure. Hmm. Okay, I see the problem. Yeah, snapshot isolation is not gonna. Okay, I see. Sorry about that. So the query runs successfully, and the result is displayed and is fixed. Okay. To create a new query for the query ribbon, click New Query. Type the following query in a new query pane. So, if object ID dim product and is not now, begin. Drop table dim product and dim and select product key. This guy's okay. Hold DBO So select all from dim product and then go. Okay. This query checks if dim product table exists in the database. If it exists, the query deletes it and creates it again with two columns, namely product key and list price. The data for dim product temp table is imported from dim product table based on where cost. The query also displays all the records from the dim product temp table. To run the query, click execute or press F5. Okay, query runs successfully and the result set is displayed. Create a new query for the query ribbon. Click new query. Type the following query in a new query pane. So set transaction isolation level snapshot. Oops. And ooh, oops. Sensitive. Be sensitive. Update. Bin product. Set list price 212. Go. In the query, the transaction isolation level is set to snapshot. Consider this transaction as session 1. The update statement updates the list price column value in dim product temp table. Note an important point: the transaction not committed in session 1. To run the query, click execute or press F5. Okay, the query runs successfully and the result is displayed. To create a new query for the query ribbon, click new query. Type the following query in the new query pane. So set transaction isolation level snapshot. Begin from left all from the product and go. Go. Okay. In the in the query, the transaction isolation level is set to snapshot. Consider this transaction as session 2. The select statement displays all the records from the dim product temp table. Notice the list price column still shows the old value. It is not showing the updated value of 200.12 because the update statement in session 1 transaction was not committed. To run the query, click execute and press F5. Or press F5. The query runs successfully and the result set is displayed. Open the query window, session 1, transaction where the statement update statement is written. Comment the entire query and type only commit at the end of the query is indicated. Go. Snapshot. Begin Chan. Update in product. Go. Commit. Okay. In the query update statement is committed to the list price column values will be updated to 212. However, you must commit the second session's transaction and then only the list price column values will be reflect the update. If you will check the list price column values without committing the session transaction, you will find the old list price values only. To run the query, execute or press F5. Okay, the query runs successfully and results is displayed. It is not enough to only commit the session 1 transaction to update changes in the table. The second session transaction must also be committed to see the complete effect of snapshot isolation levels. Open the query window of session 2 transaction. where the select statement is written. Okay, comment the statement and add commit on the query as indicated. Let's see. Begin, begin run, commit. Select all from the product to session 2. Okay. In the query, the commit statement will completely reflect the new value of 212 in the list price column. Thus, you must commit both the session transactions to reflect the changes in the table. Run the query, click execute, or press F5. Okay. The query runs successfully and the result set is displayed. Okay. To rerun the query, click execute or press F5. The, the query runs successfully and the results are displayed. The list price column shows the update value of 200.12 for all the records. Close all active windows. Okay. Do you wish to commit this before closing window? No. Okay. We close all of it. Then we've covered the following activities in this module: working with serializable isolation level and working with snapshot isolation level. So I thank you all so much for watching my video, and I hope you learned something, and see you all in the next video. So yeah, thank you.